Hello. I guess the mayor left and I was coming back. But my name is Joshua Collins. I'm with the Facebook group, actually the founder of the Facebook group Homeless Advocates for Christ. And one of my main concerns right now locally here at Maxwell Park is that the police are actually taking belongings from the homeless while they're with their belongings. They give this little tag, it's a 3-hour notice, we're going to take your belongings in 3 hours. Now, normally they would do this on people's property that was abandoned. Now they're doing it with the people there with their property, saying, here's a tag. If you don't get this property, whatever you have out of here, we're going to take it in 3 hours. So they actually have a video on YouTube that was actually in Cynthia Ward's article that she just did, where they actually did this. They took people's property. And I don't know if that's really the intent of this law, but I'd like to hear what you guys really believe about the 11.10.040, if that's what that intent is for. And I spoke with Lieutenant Schmidt, actually, also about the fact that they're telling the homeless they can have bikes in the park, even though the kids can have bikes in the park and other people can have property in the park, but just the homeless can't have property or bikes in the park. So I was talking about this. This seems some kind of like discrimination here, and that's pretty much what it is. So I'm working to bring an end to that, and I'd like to possibly have a meeting with any council members here that would like to meet with me on this, as well as the mayor. Also, someone was given a camping ticket at 8:16 a.m. by Sal J. Piscopo, the officer, and the park was open. So why is he getting a camping ticket for just being in the park, a homeless person, at 8:16 a.m. in the park? And I'm concerned about all these things. Why can't we make a safe area for people to sleep, a safe zone, because people need that? And again, what's the real intent of this law regarding the storage of property? Maybe you won't hear, but basically what's happening is they're taking property while the person is with their property. So they're giving people this tag and saying in 3 hours we're going to take your property, and then they come and they take it from while they're there, homeless people, taking their sleeping bags and everything else. So I have this on videos on YouTube. You can check out my YouTube channel. It's r.Joshua Collins. Anyone that wants to watch this, just watch my latest couple of videos, r.Joshua Collins, the YouTube channel. If you actually want to see evidence of what's happening, and 3 of the main officers involved are Hampton, Conklin, and Sergeant Lozo. All 3 of them, actually Conklin was corrected by Lieutenant Tim Schneider for saying we can't have bikes in the park. So I was thankful for that, but I'm still concerned about whether more property will be taken. And of course, profanity is also outlawed in the parks, but I know police, I've seen them use profanity in the parks, so they give themselves tickets about that. Is there selective enforcement of certain laws? That's another question, is there's some other enforcing what they want to, so I would like to have a meeting there. I was telling them with you, Mayor, and the others about what's happening with the police, maybe go through some of these videos and show you what's happening. Because I know some are on board with happening to homeless, but others seem to be criminalizing and basically committing hate crimes against the homeless. And we don't want that in a city of kindness where there should be good Samaritans. So, is that possible?
Your time is up, but I'll ask my staff to, if you would contact my office, I'd love to have a meeting.
Okay. And did you watch the email or the video I sent you? I sent you the other one too today.
I have not seen that.
Okay.
But if you would send me an email to my office and reference that video also.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Lou Noble, and it really moves me to see so many people here on behalf of the homeless. I wasn't going to speak today, but just came to me that, the shelter's been way overdue, and we need them like yesterday. The reason I started coming here is because of this illegal taking away from the homeless, because I used to give them, blankets and things for them to be better off at night, sleeping bags, and then to turn around a week after and them saying, well, the police took them away. That really infuriated me in a sense, because here I am trying to do something good, and this policy of taking the stuff away from them, it's not really right. I mean, it's just sometimes we try to take the easy way out by trying to move them out of the city. But in essence, we do need to do something about it, because there are, our people here, some of them lived here, our veterans. And this, some of them have lost their homes, like I said before, and we keep coming here and expressing ourselves in the same way. But we hope that these shelters are opening up, be expedited, because we need them, like I said yesterday. So I'm hoping that by everybody coming out here and speaking regarding this problem that we have seen for too long, and I still see a lot going on out there regarding Mercy Home, is still in question, because what I heard today is something different than what I'm seeing out there. So I'm hoping that we do come together, and that you, as being our representatives, do come together to actually do something like soon, expedite this, because it's needed. People out there, they need the shelters, and even a park of their own. If they could have that as a safe zone from being with, the police always confuse them with criminals. But I hope that this comes to an end, and that we could see something really great in Anaheim, and that is the shelters. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Sam Greek. I'm with Martin Commercial Group. We are a property management firm, brokerage firm, real estate brokerage firm. We represent both property owners and tenants who conduct business in the city of Anaheim. I'm here this evening to comment on resolution number 27 on the consent calendar. This is a resolution of the City Council offering support for the County of Orange's efforts to develop a year-round homeless shelter. First, I want to make it clear that I understand and agree that there is a very serious homeless problem that needs to be addressed within the County of Orange, and also certainly within the City of Anaheim. What's most alarming about this resolution that's on the agenda this evening is the secret nature of it. The most informative reference to the proposed site in the public document or resolution is, and I quote, "A potential site within Anaheim city limits located in an industrial area of the Canyon Business Center," end quote. How can the city lend its support to the location of a homeless shelter in a property that it will not reveal the address or assessor's parcel number of? While the adoption of the resolution is not an official definitive action, it is a public action that the members of the public are being kept in the dark about. Why would elected officials be willing to publicly support a secret site if we are going to conduct government in the sunshine? Full disclosure, transparency. If a general plan amendment or a zoning change may be necessary for this site to entertain a homeless shelter, why is the council predisposing itself to the secret site when there has been no public discussion, no environmental review of the appropriateness of this site? In closing, I ask that the council members, I ask first that this resolution be removed from the consent calendar for public comment and separate action in the future. I also ask council members to seriously consider the following before adopting a resolution offering support for this secret site. The council members have been elected to govern in the best interest of the city and those who reside and conduct business therein. That the role of an elected council member is to act as a liaison between the city and general public. Please ask yourself if adoption of this resolution without public comment, further due diligence, or even so much as offering a physical location in a public document can be considered acting as a liaison between the two, or is it just a unilateral action? Is this secret site really a good location for a year-round homeless shelter? Is it located in an area where the majority of the homeless already are? And are there services, sufficient public transportation, parks, health care within a very short distance of the shelter? And what impact will the year-round shelter have on the existing and former businesses?
Mr. Greek, I'm sorry, your time is up.
I'm almost done. And former business and residents in the surrounding area. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is item 27, asked by Council Member Murray. This is item that I have declared a conflict of interest on. I'll be abstaining.
Okay, and thank you, Paul. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. This item before you is for the consideration of the adoption of a resolution setting forth your support for the County of Orange's efforts to develop a year-round emergency shelter and multi-service center at an industrial site in the Canyon Business Center. The specific address for the gentleman who was requesting it is 1000 North Kramer Place. As you all are aware, the city over the past year and a half has increased services and efforts in new ways to better address homelessness and has made significant progress. Under your leadership, our police, community services, and community development departments have a number of programs, services, and tools to assist in addressing this very complex, pressing social issue. Several of those efforts were highlighted for you about 1 year ago in a city council workshop. At that time, city staff discussed the lack of a year-round emergency shelter with a multi-service center as an impediment to fully addressing the issue of homelessness in our community. The County of Orange is leading the efforts to develop this type of a facility as a component of the county's 10-year plan to end homelessness. City staff has engaged in numerous conversations with the county to assist them in this worthwhile goal, and most recently identified this site under consideration today. Currently, the county has requested and wants to work collaboratively with the city and has requested that the city show a formal support for their efforts at considering the site. The proposed resolution that's before you recognizes the efforts of many at addressing homelessness. It also recognizes that while the goal is permanent housing, there is a pressing need for a year-round shelter. Further, it identifies the county as the regional agency with a plan for development of such a facility. And finally, it sets forth city support for the site currently being considered, support for consideration of any zoning change, funding assistance subject to your future approval, and coordination of local existing services to ensure the successful operation of the multi-service center. And I'm pleased today to have a special guest sitting next to me. This is Karen Roper, who is the Executive Director of the Orange County Commission to End Homeless. And we can answer any questions you may have.
Madam Mayor, council have any questions?
Yes.
Councilmember Murray.
I'd like to begin by thanking county staff, as well as Chairman Spitzer and Supervisor Nelson, who've worked with the city for years now, several years, to look at a number of options to move forward with a full-service community center, homeless shelter that had a full range of social services available to our homeless population. And I understand a number of sites we looked at previously were just not considered ideal for a number of factors, but that this one proposed could meet all of the requirements and the myriad requirements. And these types of parcels are not available, readily available just anywhere. So finding an ideal site that has transit, that has the size and space and scope to really provide a very beneficial and full service shelter is difficult to come by as we've undertaken the effort of looking across the county. I want to thank our staff, Christine Ridge, as well as my colleague, Councilmember Jordan Bramman, who served as council liaison with the county to develop this option that's before us tonight. I think it's an extraordinary opportunity to really have a full-service shelter become truly viable in Orange County, and particularly in North Orange County, where we have a significant homeless population, not just here in Anaheim, but in Orange, in Placentia, in Yorba Linda, and even and in Fullerton. So this site actually better serves all of those cities. The city officials in the city of Fullerton spoke in support of it at the Board of Supervisors meeting. We've had talks with city officials about splitting the cost potentially of any gap between what the county can afford and what we can afford, and I am wholly in support of that, not just this resolution tonight, but making sure the financial resources are there to truly see this come to fruition in a very dynamic and important way to have all of those services in one facility. I think it's important for anybody who objects to understand that we haven't come to this point in time easily. In fact, Karen Roper and I, through my work previously, professional work, I've actually worked with you on the Task Force to End Homelessness more than 10 years ago. It's hard to believe that much time. But this has taken quite some time to get to this point in time, and we can't continue to just push the issue in hopes that some perfect scenario is going to materialize. It is absolutely critical that that individuals who are homeless, many who are veterans, many who are children, many who are families and individuals with mental health issues, that they have a full-service shelter in the County of Orange. And I'm proud that Anaheim has put so much effort into numerous programs through CityNet and working with our faith-based organizations, Mercy House, Illumination Foundation, so many worthwhile organizations, as well as partnering with the county to do as much as we could in reconnecting people with families and providing them services in absence of a shelter. But as we know, the Armory is not a permanent solution. We need a permanent solution, and we need a quality facility. So I would just ask everyone to please have patience. Please come to this with compassion and really think about the importance of a permanent solution that really makes sense for our county and for our community and for the homeless population. So with that, I couldn't be more pleased tonight to support this item. Again, I thank you for your leadership, and I thank the county, the chairman, Spitzer. I think it's awful that anyone would disparage him when he is coming forward with a very viable solution, as well as Supervisor Nelson, who's worked so closely with the city over the years. So it shouldn't matter as much where as finding an ideal location and making sure that it is a full service and quality facility, and this really seems to do that. So thank you. Look forward to supporting this option tonight.
Anybody else have any?
I'll move the item if I
Okay.
could.
Second.
Okay, second. Anybody have a question or a comment?
If I may.
Councilmember Vanderbilt.
Yeah, thank you. Certainly, again, thank you, Councilwoman Murray, for pointing out the accolades, Councilman Brandman, and as well as the Mayor Pro Tem and the Mayor and former Council Member Gail Eastman on their efforts to move this through in the last year. Also, thank you to the many of the folks in the audience who came and spoke on this to help give us your points of view and sharing that. In terms of the question that was asked in terms of full disclosure, in terms of the location under consideration at 1000 North Kramer Place, I guess thank you, Assistant City Manager, for pointing it out and making that part of the public record. So on all those points, I'm supportive of this and, again, appreciative of all the work that's gone into this, so thank you.
And I'll just make a final comment before we ask for the vote. This is a wonderful project, and I thank all the city members who have been a part of this, and Councilmember Jordan Brandman for all your participation and your kind remarks, Councilmember Mary and Vanderbilt. But there was somebody here from Bottle Logic, and he said his business around the corner or very close to this proposed shelter. But when you have a 24/7 shelter, you come in at a certain time, and then you are taken care of and you get your services, and there's a lockdown at a certain time, so you just can't go wandering around the streets. And the whole idea is to get the people that are bothering his waitresses off the street, getting the people from La Palma off of that area. And somebody was concerned about bus service. There is bus service on Kramer. So all things taken into account, this is a wonderful location. It's taken us a lot of time to come to consensus. And I do want to thank everybody who came and supported this or who came and wanted a different area. The location on La Palma just does not work. So we are moving forward with this, and thanks to everybody who is concerned about the homeless. We all need to be and should be. So with that, we have a motion by Councilmember Murray and a second by Councilmember Brandman. Please vote.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Anaheim offering support for the County of Orange's efforts to develop a year-round homeless emergency shelter and a multi-service center for the North Orange County. And the vote is 4 ayes with the recorded conflict by Mayor Tate. And the motion passes.